We welcome in Antonio Pierce. And, Coach, let's begin. We'll touch on the Viking loss. That was a really physical game. How many guys got beat up, nicked around there because it's a really short week for you?
Yeah, I mean, guys, just the normal wear and tear.
Yeah.
Hopefully get those guys back here before Thursday, obviously. But it's a quick turnaround, and that's just the nature of the beast. Mm-hmm. You know, the month of December is about who can be healthy, who's available. And you know you're going to have some injuries and some guys nicked up, and it's who can fight through it and how quickly can we recover.
That was a defensive chess match. Last week we talked about the blitz rate from Coach Flores, and Coach Graham called an amazing game. So seeing that from a defensive side, did you expect it to look that way? Because it was physical. The tackling was hard. That was one of the toughest games we've seen at Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah, I don't think nobody expected a shootout.
Yeah.
Didn't expect the score to be what it was either. Yeah. But knew both defenses has really been rolling. Minnesota was doing a good job, but really the Raider defense, our defense, I mean, hats off to those guys. Patrick Graham and our staff, the way they were able to put a plan together to attack the quarterback, to get after the quarterback. Our 4 DNs, our 4 pass rushers did an outstanding job throughout the game. And really the coverage. You know, early on in the game, I know Jefferson, we was able to knock him out of the game. But I thought they did a good job. We were tight, we were matched, we were up on guys, we challenged, and obviously we gave ourselves a chance to win.
And overall with Hawkinson, too, who could be a guy who could take over a game. Nice job with him trying to contain him. He had a big catch on the final drive, but overall you felt good about that.
Yeah, he did. And on that final drive, I mean, it's really a tip ball, right? It tipped into his hand, Johnny on the spot there. But I thought our musts, for the most part, on defense, 4 out of 5 of them, we took care of. It just didn't go our way.
The offensive struggle, there's one thing I want to hit on is third down. It's either the have or have-nots right there. When you see a game like that, what do you see back on film? Is it spacing? Is the ball coming out quicker, protection? Because third down's really been a hindrance this year to keep you on the field. What'd you see in that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a thorn for us, to be honest. And it's everything, from protection to getting the ball out quick to having the right reads to catching the football. I mean, just put it all in one bag. I mean, to be honest, it's not on one guy, one person. It's a collective group and effort on that part, and that's something that we continue to work on. We'll continue to work on, hopefully until we can get it right.
Yeah, and I got to assume that's frustrating because you run those plays here in the building, and you run them again and again and again, and it looks good, but then something happens in the game, and it could be protection or just the other team stepping in a gap and making a big play.
And that's exactly it. I mean, it's not a lack of.
Sure.
You know, and it's something we emphasize. Today's a big day for us on third down. Spend all day on it, you know, and you just got to keep working, right? Yeah. Rookie quarterback, you know, offense, let's get going. Changing some things up, you know, and again, we just got to keep tweaking it. But how much can you tweak in a short week? You got to be who you are. At the end of the day, it's execution. Got to execute, you got to catch the ball, you got to block, you got to make the right reads, you got to make the throws.
Chargers have been an interesting rivalry around here. It seems like it's a split every year. The games have been classics. No Justin Herbert coming into this one here. So when you prepare for them, it's Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, and Khalil Mack. Let's start with Allen and the year he's having. He's having one of the best seasons in all of football.
Yeah, and here goes the crazy part. You know he's getting the ball.
Yeah, you do.
Most targets, you know it. They do a great job of scheming and getting him open, finding ways, and obviously the quarterback did a good job. Herbert, while he was there, of getting him the football. But, I mean, obviously the outstanding football player, the older the better with him, right? That's just what it keeps seeming like it's happening. So they do a good job of just scheming him up, and obviously he's a great competitor.
What I'm noticing with him, looking back at some tape, is they're getting him a lot of 50-50 balls that might be tough. They're double teams. The balls we're trying to get to Devontae, they're getting to him, and he's going up in the air and making big plays.
Yeah, he's making plays. He's having an all-pro season. I mean, he's right there with Tariq Hills. You know, some of the guys that we face, like, okay, how do we slow this guy down? How do we stop him?
I want to talk about Austin Eckler and the ability to hit him quickly because he breaks off tackles. There's a few backs in the league who are elite at that. He's one of them. If you don't get him down initially, he spins, he bounces off, and picks up another 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, tough, gritty player. Obviously, you know, he carries a chip on his shoulder. But he just hit on it. He's really dangerous out the backfield. That's where he really makes his hay. You being able to tackle him in open space, we're going to have to do a good job of that. You know, and I think last year we did. If you look at the 2 games, we did a good job of tackling space and getting around him. We got to put a body on a body, and we're going to need a lot of bodies on him. You
played at such a high level as a player. There were certain rivalries you probably got up for more. Philadelphia, you know, Washington at the time. It seems like Mac does that against us. Yeah. Mac gets up for these games for obvious reasons here. You try to chip him and slow him down. He had a big game the first time around.
Well, he's a point of emphasis.
Yeah.
You know, I always say that who's that top guy is Waldo, or this where is Waldo's Mac. We got to find him, slide to him, whatever it takes, chip, hit. I mean, again, he's a really good football player. Obviously, his breakout game was against us, right? And can't have that happen again. We know that, you know, somebody else has to beat you. You can't be the main guy, which we know has a big impact on the game.
Easton Stick, it's interesting as you're watching games, Monday Night Football. I know you're busy coaching this team, but you see all these backup quarterbacks, and you got veterans like Joe Flacco, and then you get new kids who are coming in. This seems to be the year, Coach, of the backup quarterback and the injured quarterback. Now you don't have a lot of tape on this guy, but he did throw it around when he got in there last time.
Yeah, that's the scary part. You get the key word, not enough tape. So now you go all the way back to college. You try to pull up preseason. You get anything you can to do your research and homework on the player. But you saw when he got in last week, made some throws. You know, he's got a live arm. He's mobile. So all that stuff goes into it. And again, you know, the good part about it is a short week. So you know they can't give him the whole playbook, but looks like a smart football player just from basing it off film, and we got to be aware of it.
Their coach, Coach Staley, loves to go for it on fourth down, and I talked about this for years with him. You know he's going to do it. It's going to be 4-down territory at midfield. Yep. As a defensive head coach and with your staff, how do you prepare for that on the practice field, knowing that if he's at the 45 on either side, he's going to go for it on fourth down?
Yeah, I think our staff already understands that. I think last game was 6 times, I believe. Yeah. And that's his history, and we've been prepared for that each and every week, especially when we go against this opponent. And you got to have you got to know. As soon as it don't even matter if you're backed up. Right? He did it on his own 20-yard line. So it's live. It's live. So you know our defense knows to stay out there, get your eyes to the sideline. We'll get the call in. Let's play ball.
Wrapping it up with Aiden on the quarterback sneak. He's big. He's strong. He can move the pile there. That seems like something going forward. That's something to build on. When he comes off a loss, you mentioned it the last couple of times, just getting in here early, being prepared, and not flinching. What do you expect from him this week with this type of pressure?
Well, got to get better. Yeah. Got to get better. Bottom line, got to get better. I can come up with a whole bunch of words, give you a lot of excuses. He got to get better. We got to get better. Team got to get better around him as well. And that's the bottom line. Come back to work. You forget about that one 24-hour rule, or this one even shorter, 12-hour rule, because we got right into the Chargers.
Last one, we mentioned the baby bye week. Is it bizarre now, the late bye week, then you have a game, you come off that, and then after this one, we don't see Kansas City, not on a Sunday, to the Monday of Christmas. So unique time with getting players healthy and dealing with the schedule around the building.
Yeah, really great for us. Short week now, then we get a longer week. So all those nicks and bruises we got, hopefully get those guys healthy. And again, just all about availability. You know, the best teams playing right now have they're core guys. And if we can keep that group together, I think we give ourselves a chance.
Primetime Thursday night. How excited are you again to get back in your stadium, prove to the fans you're ready to go, start a winning streak?
Yeah, like you said every week, it's all with the fans. It starts with their energy. We got to show up and play.
Yep.
It's about us now. They've been showing up. We got to show up and play, and that's going to be our goal.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.